Hi, everybody.
Hello there.
Jerry
And Linda. And Gizmo.
and Gizmo. We're the Village's Newcomers, and we're here today to talk to you about snowbirds.
Yeah.
You've heard about snowbirds. It's a divisive topic sometimes here in the Villages, but snowbirds basically are people that live somewhere else. For example, Wisconsin, Minnesota, Indiana, Pennsylvania, but they choose to winter in the Villages. And today we are so lucky because we have a couple of snowbirds. And some people find that offensive, the word snowbird. I don't. We say it lovingly.
And some people call them seasonal.
That's what we'll call them. We'll call them seasonal residents of the Villages. And we're so happy today to have Al and Sandy. Welcome.
Hi, I'm Al.
And I'm Sandy.
Thank you guys so much. We appreciate you opening up your home and your life to us. Today we'll start off by asking you, where are you from?
We are from Wisconsin. Our plan is to be snowbirds for a while.
Are you all retired now? What did you do for a living?
I retired around 2004. I was a designer for DuPont in their engineering department. That was in Delaware, and I moved to Wisconsin and for a short time worked at Dematic Corporation, and I retired in 2007 there.
I and my husband had owned a convenience store and other businesses, rental, automotive repair, and I also was in the nursing profession. I was an RN, and I retired in 2015, so it's been 6 years since I've been living the life.
Al and Sandy, do you all own a home in Wisconsin?
Yes, still have a home in Wisconsin. I think eventually we'll make this into a full-time residence in Florida. It's just too hard to say goodbye for a long period of time. I've lived in the area that we presently have the house for at least 50 years, have a lot of family, friends. It's just too hard to make the transition at this point in time.
How long have you guys lived down here now? And you heard us talking about snowbirds. Do you find that term offensive?
We have been in the Villages since April of 2019, but we didn't actually move into the house until October. We've been in this house for a couple weeks, which ended up being our second house in about a year and a half. Our move from the previous home was actually a very short one. It was only about a half a mile since we moved from DeSoto to Fenney. We used a mover for the big furniture and thought we had not accumulated many small things. So we thought we would drive our van back and forth to carry those, and it ended up being 11 trips, which is a lot more than we had initially anticipated it being. Being a snowbird really doesn't bother me when people call us that. I prefer seasonal resident. I had heard once that being a snowbird, it was carried a bit of bad vibes with it. People think that you're crowding the roads and such.
All right, you're in Wisconsin. You've got snow up to your knees. You decided to move. What were the steps that brought you from Wisconsin to the Villages?
What got us initially interested about 15 years ago, a friend of mine where I worked at DuPont, he bought a home here with his dad in the Villages. So his dad lived here while he commuted to the Villages for vacations. And when I first heard the term Villages, I had no idea what he was talking about. But at the time, it didn't really matter. It was so long ago, I wasn't thinking about retiring. So when we were sitting and thinking of where to go on vacation, we thought, well, maybe we'll go visit my friend. And then I found I knew several other people that lived here. So that gave us all the more reason to come here. Initially, we wanted to rent a home for 2 weeks. And then when we called, we found out that you really can't rent a home here for 2 weeks. Then we were steered to the preview program, and it only took 48 hours while we were here for the preview until we decided we really wanted to stay here.
Yeah. As most people say, we drank the Kool-Aid. Within a short period of time, fell in love with the attractiveness of the villages and all that it had to offer, and that was history. Made a rash decision, and here we are.
When you guys travel from Wisconsin to Florida, how do you get here? Do you fly or do you drive?
As seasonal residents, we do commute here by automobile. We have every time we've come down so far. We've made 4 trips that way. On the trip previous to this one, we each drove a car down so that we could leave a car here and use the other car as a commuter. The drive, really, I don't find it that difficult, although it is becoming a little bit tiresome.
Here's what our viewers really want to know. You live in Wisconsin, you live in the villages, 2 homes, 2 sets of utility bills, water bills, electric bills, heating, cooling, 2 insurance bills, 2 sets of real estate taxes. How do you juggle all that? How do you handle all that?
It gets to be a little much when you're maintaining 2 homes. The Florida home isn't that bad as far as upkeep because you have everybody that you're hiring. Back home, we maintain the outdoors, and we end up spending most of the whole summer, the time that we're home, working outside. So definitely rethinking, downsizing to just one home, trying to figure it out, or at least downsize back in Wisconsin.
I agree. It is a hassle spending all your time when you're at home in the summer working on the house. We notice more now how little we see our friends when we're there, especially with the COVID situation currently. We went back and spent the whole summer and played golf, actually more than we ever have, but still very little compared to the effort it takes to get back there, the trip, the switching all your newspapers and magazines and prescriptions to be delivered in a different place. That also becomes tiring.
And the expense too, to add. I mean, it definitely would be a lot less expensive maintaining only one home.
When we're not at our home in the villages, we do subscribe to the Villages Empty Nest program. And I think their charge is somewhere in the neighborhood of $3.50 a day, $3.50 a day, which is about $100 a month. And they will come to your house once a week, and they do brush and flush the toilets, and they make sure the house is in good condition. They check the windows and make sure nobody's tampered with anything. They look the lawn over, make sure your sprinklers are working. And I think once a month they actually run the sprinklers to visually check to make sure they're working properly. And the thermostat we have is an internet capable thermostat, so we can keep an eye on the temperature. And actually this thermostat here works so well, we bought the same kind of thermostat for the house in Wisconsin, so we can make sure the heat is working properly. That had been our biggest concern, was the heat shutting off, and it was radiant heat there, so it would cause a bigger problem than just pipes bursting. The heating elements, the tubes in the floor would break, and we also installed cameras at the house in Wisconsin, so we could see when someone comes in the house. There's a security system. that's not monitored by anyone but us, that will let us know if doors are opened to the house. It'll actually ping me on the phone and let me know someone's come in.
Well, to add to that, as far as back there, we also have to hire somebody to plow the snow, and don't have to hire anybody, though, to flush the toilets or run the water. I have a son that does that, so saves us $100 a month anyway.
Did you bring all your furniture from up north, or did you buy a lot of your furniture down here?
Now, I know you're working on your second house here. It's a lot of rooms to fill.
When we first bought the house in April of 2019, obviously there was nothing in it. So we came back for a week on Memorial Day and did a lot of furniture shopping in an effort to try to have some furniture in the house when we came back for our 6-month stay in October. So in that week, we did a lot of trips up to Ocala to the furniture stores there to get bedroom furniture. And like almost everyone else here in the Villages, we're told we slept on an air mattress for most of that week, and the bed finally arrived on our last day of our stay. So the last day we got to sleep in a real bed.
Are you guys part of the golf cart lifestyle?
We do enjoy driving in the golf cart. One of our favorite places to go in the golf cart is Edna's, so we can have a beverage and listen to the music there, or Fenny Grill, which is very close to us. We're looking forward to Magnolia Plaza being finished so we can do all our grocery shopping there, banking, and we'll have a golf cart store so we can have our cart serviced without having it trailered to Brownwood. We do play golf, but we haven't a lot since we've been here. I think we only played 9 holes since we got here. I tweaked my knee a little bit last year, so we didn't really use the cart much for golf. But we do enjoy driving around. All our guests really like to go for cart rides when they come down. I'm sure Sandy's grandsons, when they come down, they'll probably want to drive it.
Yeah, but too young. They won't be able to.
Has it been easy for you all to make friends?
It's been quite easy to make friends here. I think the primary way of making friends while you're out and about is people wear sweatshirts and hats that identify where they're from, a college, a university, or professional teams. We'd stop and talk to people all the time, find out that they live very close to us.
But just walking around the squares, you run into people, and just neighborhoods. It seems like everyone has something in common within your neighborhood, just being there, and you get to know them quite well. So it's been very, very easy.
We took the initiative in our little cul-de-sac that we lived prior to this home and created a little list, an Excel file of people's phone numbers, and passed it around. And that helped everybody, even within our little neighborhood, know each other better, be able to contact each other, since we're all pretty new. And I guess we'd heard that if you moved into an older part of the Villages, that it's a little more difficult to make friends there because everybody knows each other and not you. But when we moved in, everyone was in the same boat. Everybody was a new resident, and we all very quickly see somebody outside. All you have to do is have something done to your house, an improvement, and all your neighbors will be over to talk about it. So that's quite easy to make friends here.
Yeah.
Would you say you guys have been accepted by the permanent residents here?
The people in this neighborhood that we've just moved into, only been here for 2 weeks, the majority of them are permanent residents, have been very gracious. They stop by, introduce themselves, so feel very accepted and welcomed.
How do you handle the heat here in Florida compared to up north?
Oh, Lordy, it gets hot down here.
So far, we haven't really had to experience the high heat for any length of time, although we had some 90 degree days in our 6 months visit from October to May. My theory on that is that at home in the winter, in the dead of winter, is like being here in the middle of summer when it's real hot, is you really don't spend a lot of time in the extremes outside. It's a lot easier to drive to the store in an air-conditioned car than it is to have to clear the driveway of snow and then drive to the car, drive to the store in the car. I think I'd rather be warm than frozen up north.
Do you ever see yourself as full-time villagers?
Oh, sure. I think, especially with the addition of our new home here, it's much more livable than our other home. We almost need to stay here more to get out of the work. We'd like to eventually get rid of the other home in Wisconsin, possibly just downsizing so that we'd have a place to stay if we went back for a month or two. Or maybe we'd even end up being in a hotel for a month.
Yeah, definitely are rethinking living here full time. It's a process, as I'm sure the majority of people have found out, just eliminating all your accumulated stuff and making that decision and moving forward on it. I guess that's the biggest thing. So we're going in baby steps, one thing at a time.
Thank you both for being so nice and so willing and helpful to people that really gain a lot from this type of interaction. We didn't have that before we moved here.
No.
It would have been nice, but it's just, to me, it's just another example of the kind of people that we've encountered here in the villages. Great people that are willing to give and to share, and we appreciate it so much.
Well, we really appreciate the fact that you did invite us. We've been fans of yours for so long. It's feels like a privilege to be here with you.
And primarily because you and Linda are so awesome.
If you liked our video, please press the like and subscribe buttons. For you doing that, it keeps our channel going. We really do appreciate it.
Couldn't do it without you.
Until next time.
See you when you get here.